Meanwhile, in the pod cave.
And welcome back to the Podman. I'm Brad.
I'm Brian.
I've been wrong.
I'm Alex.
And we're actually not in the pod cave today. This is a very special Thanksgiving episode of the Podmen, and we're recording live, all four Podmen together in my parents' basement.
Truly not.
But truly
It's not in my Gangy's basement.
Not my Gangy's basement.
Hashtag not my Gangy's basement.
It's a really cool place here that we found in Avondale Estates, and it's my parents' basement. It's kind of a combination of a bar, restaurant, and comic book store. It's every fanboy's dream.
With pinball machines.
So it's something for everybody.
Something for everyone, yeah.
All right.
It's truly a Thanksgiving miracle.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle, and
But there's just a bunch of dudes here.
for the most part, that's. So it's just like a comic book store, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if you hear us, we're waiting on our food right now. But what more could you ask for?
Well,
If it was would you want to add a strip club to it?
that would, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right. Well,
PMR wanted to broadcast this episode from Hooters.
we could do that.
That would have been, or Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
That's a classier Hooters.
All right. Well, this episode's sponsored by my parents' basement, so to speak, as we're throwing out
Is it
other
really
places.
sponsored by them? Because I just paid $50 for my meal.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's what you paid for Alex's.
Man.
Alex, welcome back.
I've been here for the last couple.
Well, welcome back.
On the road to 200, I've
Is this
maintained-
200?
That's right. No, this is episode 199,
199.
actually.
Okay.
But
We got to really beat this for 200.
I know.
How do
We
you
could
beat
skip
this?
to episode 199.
Yeah.
Call that the Miss Marvel's episode. Sorry about that, Brian.
That's all right.
I need to put the windscreen back on.
Yeah, now that we're
I need a spit flag.
yeah, now that we're all in one place, I can get Brad to spit on me
Exactly.
while we're podcasting.
But yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about. Maybe some movie reviews. I'm not sure. We've got the
Yeah,
Marvels,
absolutely.
which has been a complete
Blue Beetle.
Shit show.
I don't think we should do Blue Beetle.
3 months late.
No.
Yeah.
Because we've already done it. Just because you've seen it.
Just seen it.
I've just seen it. All right. Well, before we get into all of that, we do have casting news. We have a few deaths, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been a few months since we've recorded, so I'm sure we have a few other things to talk about. Let me go to the news.
Is it all?
All right, Brian. What kind of scoop do you have from the newsroom?
Well, not good news in the Marvel front. As
Of course, and
Brian's
Brian's really
starting
upset about it.
as we'll get into later,
just
As Brian smiles.
all of the
He's happy that there's bad news for Marvel.
all of the 2024 Marvel movies have been pushed back except for Deadpool. Chiefly among them is Captain America: Brave New World, who's getting extensive reshoots. They said 3 major sequences are being recut for reshoots, apparently happening in between January and May of 2024. So it's been pushed back to 2025. Like I said, the only movie that'll be coming out in 2024 for Marvel is Deadpool.
which still will probably make $1 billion.
Yes, it'll be a hit.
Well, yeah, if you had one that was going to come out next year.
What's coming out for
Deadpool.
DC next year?
Nothing.
Exactly.
The Penguin TV show.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Penguin TV show. But considering how many things we had, I mean, think about this, like all the stuff that was slated in 2021 for Marvel,
Yeah.
right? That was supposed to be coming out. That huge like timetable, all that stuff's been pushed off, right? It's either delayed, pushed off, or there's been no updates on it. Shang-Chi 2, no updates.
What? No updates.
Ironheart, no updates.
Oh my gosh.
Like all these things that were
No one
announced.
really cares about any of that.
Agatha Coven of Chaos. Or
Nobody
House
cares.
of Parker. Whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all gone.
All gone.
No
all
one
gone
cares.
away.
Yeah.
All gone.
No one cares.
As if Thanos snapped his fingers and,
And half
they
the Marvel
have-
slate went away.
and half
That's a pretty good. That's a good line. I like that.
Yeah.
But, in all fairness, Marvel has.
I don't think this is going to be the fair.
Yeah,
in all
the
fairness,
fair
in all
take
fairness,
for Marvel.
Marvel has seen the error of their ways, and they
They're going to course
hunker
correct.
down
Like Germany.
course correct. So,
Like,
absolutely.
like Germany, Marvel has seen the hardships they caused and their pain.
Wait a minute.
is this all about Susan Sarandon again?
Oh, will not be returning. Maybe she can pop up in the Marvel universe again
With the Red Skull.
with the Red Skull.
So you can just be the new Red Skull.
Redhead. Why not?
So, all that to say, Marvel's course correcting their problems, something that DC should have done many years.
Well, they are doing.
Yeah, DC is doing.
Trying
With
to.
hiring James Gunn.
Well, this is true, and I'm very excited to see what James Gunn is coming up with.
All right, here comes some
I have a
food.
pretzel with queso.
That's for the table.
That's for the table. And then a burger with fries. Basement burger with fries.
Okay. All right, well, we'll be eating while we're recording the podcast, but yeah.
Which is nothing new for PMR.
Yeah, PMR's in his natural state.
Unfortunately, they couldn't offer pork rinds.
Well, go ahead and get.
Speaking of, I guess we could just hop in. Speaking of James Gunn, little segue.
Well, we got some more news though.
Well, that is news.
This is
Casting
news.
All right,
news.
go ahead. Yeah.
We have both Jimmy Olsen and Eve Tessmacher, whatever, casted for Superman Legacy. I don't know how to say her name.
Tessmacher.
Whatever. Tessmacher, which is what, Lex Luthor's assistant? And James
Yeah,
Gunn just cast some model.
Yeah.
And just
She
called
wasn't
it a
really
day.
his assistant. She was his arm candy.
Well, there you
Is
go.
she in the comic books or just in the original movie?
In every fanboy's dream is what she's in. Valerie, the
I
once
think-
hot Valerie Perrine,
I think she was in the Supergirl TV show.
but now she's in Spank Bank foreclosure.
Well, that's our new bet. Don't tease it too early.
Wait, yeah.
Spank Bank foreclosure?
He's stealing it. That was my.
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. I just made it up.
I don't know if I got the joke.
And then, yeah.
All right, go ahead and explain, Brian.
So we get like we've talked about this before. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We still got news.
Yeah.
See, Alex, you screwed Brian up.
I did screw Brian up. I'm
It's
sorry.
him. We'll get back to that in a few minutes.
So, yeah, then there's Jimmy Olsen. Just the most Jimmy Olsen person on the...
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen.
Alex just found
looks
it
like
determined
Jimmy
to give
Olsen.
the news, Brian.
Skyler. What's his last name?
Skylar something?
Giacomo, something.
Yeah.
The nerd guy from Righteous Gemstone,
The nerdy, yeah.
which is a good cast.
It's good casting. And then there's also Nicholas Hoult for Lex Luthor, which isn't official casting yet.
Which is not really good casting, but
Very good casting.
no, I'm not a big Nicholas Hoult fan. I don't know what he's done that's
I think
just.
I like Nicholas Hoult.
He's good. He's good. He has the Great on Hulu, which is, I heard is a pretty good
Well,
show.
he played Beast in the
Plays
X-Men
Beast.
movies.
He's a pretty good Beast.
He's no Kelsey Grammer beast.
Exactly.
We'll get into that
We'll get
later.
into that, yeah, shortly.
But-
Shortly.
But yeah, I think overall this movie's shaping up pretty good. It's nice to get
It
some
is.
Superman characters in a Superman movie casted.
They're good casting.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So
what's funny with Nicholas Hoult, of course, is I think he lost out on the role of Batman at
Yeah.
one point. So I think he
he
wanted to
auditioned
be
for Superman for this
right.
movie.
So he has a hatred towards superheroes, DC superheroes. So I think maybe that will play into his portrayal of Lex Luthor.
That'd be pretty fun.
They've also cast who they're saying is going to be the villain of the film.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was Lex Luthor.
No. Well, at least now it may be anti-hero, but they've cast Maria Gabriela de Faria as the engineer from the Authority.
Yeah.
Which the engineer from the Authority?
Oh, okay.
You know, it sounds like very Brainiac to me. Like engineer sounds like a Brainiac henchman, like a goon almost. Like if you want to tie it in,
Yep.
that sounds like a way to tie that in pretty well. If you want to do something like that.
I think they're going the other way, though. I've said on the podcast before, probably my favorite modern Superman story is Action Comics 775,
And that is a good story.
which is Superman versus the Elite. The Elite, this is before DC bought Wildstorm,
There comes your food.
and
All right, I got 2 JJ burgers with fries. Who had what?
I had well done. We'll figure it out.
I got the JJ burger as well. Thank you.
would say that was more well done.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the
That's
well
the
done
well
one.
done one. All right.
That's it. We're good, man. You got anything else?
I think that's it.
Good?
So-
Cool.
Thank
Thank you,
Enjoy,
man.
guys.
Thanks.
but
Watch this. I love this on the YouTube hat.
Oh. Well,
You know, you can just hit the 57.
Or it's halfway empty.
That didn't work.
So PMR is windmilling the ketchup, the table ketchup,
It didn't work.
like in the middle of a restaurant,
Didn't hurt the arm.
like a lunatic. But yeah, my favorite. There's several different ways to get the ketchup to start
You just got to rub
moving,
it, you know?
or just hit
That's
the
what she
57 on the side of the bottle.
Yeah.
I just shake it, push it down like that, like gravity
That
does.
really kind of hurt my arm. All right. So the engineer is part of the elite.
No. Action Comics 775, they brought in the Elite, which was all DC's version of the Authority. So Apollo, Midnighter, Jack Hawksmoor, the Engineer, the Doctor, Jenny Sparks, all of those.
Right.
So, but basically the way they wrote it, it was a single issue story by he's part of Man of Action, not Steven Seagal, but I'll come to me in a minute. But the whole story was basically like, why is Superman important in an age with like popular books, dark anti-hero books like The Authority.
What did we learn? He wasn't.
No, we did. We learned he was.
Oh.
But it's perfect because if they're going to make the Authority the bad guys, and they've already said the Authority is getting its own movie, if they're going to make the Authority the bad guys, then you get to, it's the exact same story as 775. You get to go in and say, well, you know, nobody wanted to make the Superman movie. They wanted to make the Man of Steel stuff darker. Everybody says Superman's a Boy Scout and a goody two-shoes, that sort of thing. This literally is the story that addresses why Superman's important. So,
Which is probably what they're going to go with.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure that's what they're going to go with. Yeah. So, yeah, the engineer being the bad guy for the new Superman movie is pretty kick-ass, in my opinion.
You know, Brian, as I was thinking, if we're in the dining area of my parents' basement as opposed to the comic book area, you could have just yelled out, "Hey, who wrote blah 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 Action Comics blah blah blah," and see if people would to answer. Right?
That's true.
This is the one place where you could just yell that out in a restaurant
and not get pants.
That's
And not get beat up. Nerd.
You know,
Joe Casey.
I still think
Joe Casey.
my bet is still Brainiac as the villain. I don't know why. It's just a young Superman. I don't know if we're going to get... I think they're going to save Superman versus like the Elite Authority for like a sequel.
Oh,
Or even for the Authority movie. I don't know yet.
Well, you can't have the if they save it for the sequel, then the Authority movie that's already been greenlit, they're going to be bad guys in the film. I don't think so.
I think they're trying to make a statement. James Gunn is also trying to make a statement that Superman was technically the first superhero,
Right.
and he still matters today amidst all the more successful Marvel heroes.
Now, Alex, oh my God,
That's a great theory.
Thank you.
yeah,
I appreciate that.
only one man could have brought you that theory. Alex, you've read
The
775,
most
right?
obvious theory of them all.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And I've watched the animated movie.
Oh, that's right. That they did make an animated
Good animated movie,
yeah.
too.
Who did? What?
There's an animated movie of Superman
Superman versus the Elite. Yeah,
It's a pretty pivotal issue now.
right. And it's one that I sent off to get graded a few years ago, and the guy looked at me like I was an idiot. Who's the idiot now?
now.
Jason.
Ouch.
I sent it and the Authority off to get graded, and he's like, "Why are you getting this graded?" Yeah. Who's the fool now?
And Alex says that when I'm going to get Rep Rap rated. The first appearance of Rep Rap. Mark my words.
And would you like to explain who Rec Rap is? DMR?
He is a demon who gets the power of Spider-Man, but he comes into this big, bulky, Venom-looking character that has a big mouth and smiles and stuff. And I think he's going to be a hot character, so I'm going to get my issues CGC graded.
And why is he called Rec Rap?
It's Parker spelled backward.
Ah.
But there's a hyphen between the wreck and the rap.
Well, he knows he needs to use a hyphen because Spider-Man does.
Yes, Spider-Man uses a hyphen.
There you go.
You can hear the hyphen when he says Spider-Man.
Rap.
Can't forget the hyphen.
More news. The rumors keep swirling that Marvel is going to abandon the Jonathan Majors Kang storyline.
I don't think they will.
as a part of that whole pushing back the films. I don't think they're going to abandon it. I think they're going to curtail it, though. I think they're going to reduce his involvement in the coming movies. And I think it's like a lot of why we're getting the delays.
Well, do you think they're doing that because of his issues, or do you think they're doing that because the storyline's just not landing and they're not willing to stick with it?
Both. I mean, think about like Aquaman. Like they decided to stick with, or Flash. They decided to stick with Ezra Miller, right? And while that was a pretty okay movie, it still didn't resonate, and because there was so much bad will, because you had box office poison in the lead.
But he was in Loki, and no one's really had any type of
Anybody watch Loki?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, we can talk about that, but it's actually no one's really been bothered by it.
Well, there's no conviction. Whereas Ezra Miller, we had videos of him slamming a woman into the ground.
Allegedly. They can do wonders with video
with CGI.
Special effects now.
Who hasn't body slammed somebody at a Sam's Club before?
Exactly. Fair point.
But
it is Thanksgiving.
I mean,
I think what they're going to do is the problem is they said, well, who's going to be the new Thanos? The new Thanos is Kang. When we got into phase 1, 2, 3, it was like that stuff slowly built, but it wasn't the focal point of all the stories. Now, Kang has been the focal point since day one, and it's not landing, it's not resonating. I think the plan was originally to pepper Kang through all of phase 5, and then make Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars a two-parter, right? My bet is Kang Dynasty will be the end of Kang. Secret Wars can be Loki, like we saw at the end of Loki Season 2, being a quasi-beyonder and pulling the best versions of Cap, Iron Man from all the different timelines and putting them back into a prime timeline. Not necessarily pruning the other timelines, but basically saying, like, this is the through line for all the other timelines. Right, all the other timelines are variations of this timeline, but this is the prime timeline. And then we've got all those characters back in play. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to abandon Kang, but I think they are going to curtail his involvement and relying so heavily on him for the remainder of these movies. Thoughts?
No, I don't mind. I mean, I like him. I like Kang. I like Jonathan Majors. I mean, the story's not that bad. I mean, it's just been in Quantumanium and Loki, but it hits well in Loki, but it didn't hit well in Quantumanium.
Well, he wasn't playing Kang in Loki, though. He was playing,
He who remains.
Right. So, there's that. We've got more casting news.
All right, who got it?
So the rumor is that Vanessa Kirby is playing Sue Storm.
Good cause.
The kid that played...
Thank you.
The kid that played... what's his name on Stranger Things? John?
Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, but what was his name in the show?
Eddie
Haskell.
Eddie is playing Johnny Storm. You've got the cousin from The Bear.
Evan Moss Baccarat.
As the Thing, which is fantastic casting.
Yeah.
That really is good casting.
And we're riding high on some great casting stuff. And then we get to this week, and now they're saying that Pedro Pascal is in talks to play Reed Richards. And then behind that, Javier Bardem is in line to play Galactus. As if you need an actor playing Galactus. Right. He's not just going to be CGI. But, yeah.
Well, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards would be fine if he wasn't like 55 years old already or whatever.
It's really the age.
It's like you kind of like, okay, well, if the intention, we're assuming it's the intention that Fantastic Four and X-Men are going to be the backbone of the new Marvel slates and everything. It's like, okay, well, he seems a little old to carry the next 10 years.
He's old. But then also the problem is, and there was an article from I don't know if IGN, I think it was IGN that posted it, but it was pretty interesting. They were talking about Disney's biggest problem is money, Like they're throwing money at the lead actor, and so you'd be hard pressed to find anybody that's more synonymous with playing like a dad, right? Considering we had The Last of Us and Mandalorian and all. So the most famous like dad right now is Pedro Pascal, and that's who they're trying to cast. But he's going to come with a hefty price tag. So if he and he should. But at the same time if you walk in to a production with all that money already pre-spent on just casting decisions, it's going to, before you get into marketing, promotion, special effects, like cinematography, any of it, it's going to draw more eyes and more scrutiny from Disney execs, and we get into that same problem of too many cooks in the kitchen. So the argument is, why don't they pick someone who's lesser known or unknown,
right?
Who could perform just as well in the role, just like we did in phase one. Keep the scrutiny off of the production, so the filmmaker can actually make a good film. So, yeah, that's aside from age, aside from Pedro Pascal, who's Latin, playing Reed Richards. The biggest probably issue is it's the money, and here we go again. We're going to get a lukewarm movie made by committee.
It's one of those things too. It's like, I understand based off the cast they have, they're looking at it's like Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Evan Moss Backrock. While they all have their fans, and
Backrock. Okay.
They all have their fans, but none of them are like.
That's how you can remember it.
I know. I couldn't think it was.
None of them are like lucrative stars to draw in. Whereas Pedro Pascal is the most lucrative of all of them. That's your name on the head of the poster. That's going to get people at least somewhat interested. But and they've been doing that since the beginning of casting. I mean, it was before Pedro Pascal. It was Matt Smith. So you're tackling another fandom, but they didn't go with that. And then it was Jake Gyllenhaal, who had already played somebody in the MCU, so that was just weird. And then who was before him? It was Adam Driver, and it's just
he's much better than Adam Driver.
I think Adam Driver was perfect casting.
Doom.
For Doom.
I think for Reed, it would have been great.
Here's what I would argue is go back to the first Batman movie, right? When Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, everybody was Mr. Mom. That was who he was most known for, is Mr. Mom. That was the big question that he had. So how did they counter that? They cast Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yeah.
Do the same thing here. Do a bunch of unknowns or lesser knowns as the Fantastic Four. And then if you're going to blow your butt or throw money at somebody, throw money at whoever you cast as Dr. Doom.
Which should be Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy would be great.
They've never cast a good Dr. Doom. I mean,
I don't mind the one in 2005. I'll say it.
Ooh, the guy that. Hello, Reed.
I love that movie.
Oh my god.
He was so smarmy.
That's smarmy, man.
That movie is
the guy from
Julian
Van Forest. The original.
With
the Nip Tuck
Ian Redford or whatever his name was. That movie's a great comic book movie.
Has anybody gone back and watched Fan Forest?
I can't. I didn't know if didn't all four of us.
No, it did not hold up.
All four of us didn't we see that opening
Or
night?
did it get any better? I know it didn't hold up.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah, Four Stick. Didn't we all see it opening night in theaters?
The Miles Teller one?
I know I saw it in theaters.
I saw it in theater, but I didn't see it opening night.
I think we did see it opening night.
Not together.
It sounds familiar for some reason.
I know.
I know it was terrible. I just remember that. I remember sitting there going, "Oh my god, this is." I couldn't.
It wasn't even laughably bad. It was just bad.
Just bad. It was just
uninteresting.
Very. I mean,
very bland.
Very bland. I mean, they had no charisma whatsoever. God, it sucked so bad. So
Now-
what you got for us?
Well,
Scoots McGillicuddy.
there's been some backlash about Pedro Pascal, and a couple of names that have come up recently that actually tried out for the role. And Pedro Pascal is not cast yet, but Jamie Dornan from 50 Shades of Grey,
Not bad.
and Christopher Abbott. I don't know Christopher Abbott. What's he in?
Sounds familiar. I don't know.
But the one that people have said most recently that I'm like perfect casting is Matthew Good, who played Ozymandias in the Watchmen, and Bob Evans in The Offer, the miniseries about the making of the Godfather. Man,
He would have been so good.
Matthew Good is fantastic. He would have been great as Reed Richards, and I'm sure far less expensive to get. So, but if you've learned anything from this, go watch The Offer on Paramount. On Paramount Plus.
Well, I'm looking. If Pedro, if you get cast, all the luck to you. That's all I got for you, man. Hope you don't bust your hip on set.
In more Marvel casting news, another controversial take. Robert Kirkman this week let it slip that Stephen Yeun is going to be playing the Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie. The Sentry, whose name is what, PMR?
So what?
What's the Sentry's actual name?
Robert Reynolds.
Yeah. So it's going to be played by. That sounds to me like a Korean actor. Alex.
Well, you know what? Adoption.
Well, they did that with Michael B. Jordan with Fantastic Four.
It all comes back to Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would even cast Steve. That cannot be right.
And I like Stephen Yeun.
I do like.
I love
Stephen Yeun.
Invincible. Right.
It's fine. I'm sure what's going to happen is he's going to turn. Oh, excuse me, listeners. He's going to turn into the Sentry, and his hair is going to glow, and it'll be blonde, and blah 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 blah.
Then he's just going to look ridiculous.
Doesn't Bob Reynolds in the comic book, when he's not the Sentry, not have blonde hair?
Well, he ain't Korean.
Well,
But
Isn't he Korean? When he powers down.
and maybe I don't know, but
Well, he turns into a shiny white guy when he's powered up, but he turns into a Korean guy.
how big is the Sentry now? I mean, I thought it was just kind of a flash in the pan, almost like a.
He was big in the 2000s.
Yeah,
It was like
they did
a
that.
stick.
It was. They did.
So who cares?
Like he was like their secret Superman, and like everybody forgot him.
Right.
And so they kind of retconned him into different storylines and everything. But his whole thing is he's their kind of Omni-Man. He's Marvel's Omni-Man.
Right.
So he is his own supervillain.
yeah.
So it's a little bit of Miracle Man, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit Omni-Man.
Which I'm sure is the big third act twist.
Yeah.
Is the Void.
Is the Void is the bat that he doesn't realize he's the Void. Yeah, that was what it was in the comic book. So we'll see.
But is he still around today? Is he a character that's used today, or it was just kind of?
I think he's dead.
They trot him out from time to time. Yeah, I think he died in that last
King in Black.
Yeah, that was
He died
yeah.
in King in Black. He may be back now though. I don't know. They kill him off and bring him back every blue moon, just for the hell of it.
Probably our last story, and this is something that we've been saying for years, Alex, literally years. We've called for this. Dave Filoni has now has been promoted to the chief creative officer for Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get a Star Wars movie again. And honestly, I don't care. I'm giving up. I'm giving up on Star Wars. I don't care.
It's too little, too late.
It's too little, too late. I don't care.
Oh, no.
Ahsoka, I watched it because it's good background noise. But man, I can't tell you how little it did anything for my soul.
What?
Ahsoka. It's one of those things where it's like
okay.
the brand is ruined because now we know and Star Wars has this problem is that we know the past, present, and future of pretty much everything now. So wherever they choose to tell a story, there's no stakes to it. I mean, besides...
Now you're talking Brian's
Now
language.
you're sounding a little bit like
There's no-
PMB.
Like, for I think what makes The Mandalorian so good is that we know there are a little bit of stakes because we don't really know what happens to those characters. But, in terms of everything else, we know. Like, we know what's going on. We know what's going to happen. We know the movies are going to get shitty. And that we have the Rise of Skywalker to finish it all off. And it's like, if that's the punchline, then I don't want it. I'm good. I won't go to the show.
Well, maybe they're off in another end of space doing more important things than dealing with the Palpatine's clone.
God, it's just. But then again, all the shows feel like they talk about cloning and all that, so it feels like it's all kind of telling us how all of the First Order and bullshit, blah blah blah, happened.
Well, here's what I would love. I would love to come out and talking about cloning is always this trump now, or this trope is to have us finally put the kibosh on the multiverse. I hope at the end of Kang Dynasty, there's no other universe that we have to deal with.
No, I hope at the end of King Dynasty, Luke Skywalker walks through a portal, walks through a Doctor Strange portal, and we get the Return of the Jedi theme. Yeah.
Well, let me
Disney branding right there.
Let me
And the Inside Out characters next to him. There you go.
Oh,
in that same vein, though, if you wanted to, just not fix, but get all the hype back for Star Wars. And I almost thought in that Ahsoka series, that's what they were doing. When they were they're having to travel this far, far, far reach of space. I had a feeling that it was going to end up being Earth.
Interesting.
Be like Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
Or Star Trek 4.
All they had to,
Planet of the Apes, or whatever.
all they would have had to have shown was just, some dinosaurs. That's it.
That'd been cool.
No, just like New York City.
Or that Adam Driver.
It's no longer a long time ago.
Right.
This ain't your daddy, Star
And
Wars.
it's not a galaxy far, far away.
It's the Bronx.
Did anybody see that? What was it, 52 or something? Adam Driver.
No.
That was the shtick. Spoiler alert on that.
They spoiled that in the trailer.
Was it?
It was in the trailer that it was Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was a very bizarre movie.
I'm happy for Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
But fuck Star Wars. My childhood is ruined.
Thanks, Kathleen Kennedy.
So what were we talking about?
That's episode 199 and PMR is apologizing.
Episode 199. To almost 200 episodes for PMR to apologize.
I apologize.
Episode 199. To almost 200 episodes for PMR to apologize.
I apologize.
That should be episode 200. Ron having his Scrooge moment. He realizes the error of
The
his
ghost
ways.
of podcast past.
I should have said that about Kathleen Kennedy. Or those little...
Well, I'm also just surprised that she's still not fired.
She's got something. I think she banged somebody or something.
She must be.
And we're
Apology retracted.
And that's why she's a whore.
And we're back, baby. That was quick.
I think PMR just can't help himself. This is the funny thing about it. I'm sorry. All right, so let's, you know what? Let's keep the things rolling here and talking about some whores. Let's talk about the Marvels. What?
I thought we were gonna do Matthew Perry.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let me get some.
I thought we were going to do Spank Bank Foreclosures.
Shut up. That's the new bit.
Speaking of whores, Matthew Perry died.
Oh no.
Matthew Perry was the best part of Friends.
All right, so our immemorial music played there. Alex, tell us what Matthew Perry's
What's he
life
mean
and
to
death
you?
mean
You
to
know,
you.
he was on Friends. He played Chandler on
Yes,
Friends.
yes, he did.
Yes.
He made us all laugh in our living rooms.
He did.
Not me. I wasn't alive.
Wasn't around.
Did you like Friends?
I like
Really?
Friends. Yeah,
I can't watch it now.
I've
It's
watched
so
it.
You were
boring.
conceived during an episode of Friends.
I didn't watch Friends.
Brian was asleep on the couch.
You know,
I was pretending to be asleep.
there's a couple.
I couldn't close my eyes harder.
All curled up in the field.
There's a
rocking back and forth.
So we'll miss you, Matthew Perry.
PMR was so virile in the 90s. I don't think he would ever stop.
A Friends episode would get me riled up.
Rachel.
Well, it was Carolina in the City. Carolina in the City got him all.
That was a good show, too.
I was more of a Monica guy.
PMR watched Suddenly Susan and got a sudden erection.
I was more of a Monica guy, not a Rachel guy.
I like Monica, too. Monica was more about... What about you?
Speed.
You're a Phoebe.
No one was a Phoebe.
Aw,
Was anybody
nobody
a
was
Phoebe?
a Phoebe. Oh.
I think Nita was.
Stop. Can't do that.
Did she listen?
36.
She may. She may. God damn it.
Shout out to you, Anita.
So Matthew Perry, he died.
We're not recording.
Oh.
Yes, I'm recording.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just having to make edit notes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So again, Matthew Perry drowned.
I think I read a quote by him. He was because he wrote that book.
Is that what you were going to say?
That's not what I said. That was Brian. Everyone.
That was not me.
But he did, like, because he wrote that book about his dealing with alcoholism.
Right.
And I think he had like a quote in there. He's like, I don't want to be remembered for friends.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered for like all
The
my
shit he
mistakes
did.
and all the shit,
that's pretty
shitty
cool.
things I did. Who would? No, that sounds awful.
Why?
Well, he's not going to get his wish, first off. And second off, like, it just sounds like you want to be remembered just for being a shithole?
No, he's just saying that so people would learn from his mistakes, and
Right.
like, what he did wrong, and hopefully.
I'd like to be
And
remembered
you
for the
too.
millions of dollars I made.
I mean, you too can clean your act up.
Yeah.
Matthew Perry could do it. You could too.
Yeah, he will be missed.
He will be missed.
He would,
This is the first time I've ever had anything to say about one of these. Wow.
What?
Never had anything to say about it anymore.
I mean,
He's never known. He's too young to know any of these people that died.
All
This is the
these
first
No
one.
Larry Storage.
In 199 episodes, he's never had any emotional
person he actually knew.
attachment to anyone that died.
No.
Get this hit close home to you.
Yeah.
He was your John Ritter.
I don't know who that is.
Ouch.
Anyway, so
Matthew Perry.
Back to the
Matthew Perry.
whores.
Back to the horse. All right, let's get the music. Where's the?
We got music for Spank Bank foreclosure.
No movies. All right, the big movie that everybody except for myself has seen is The Marvels. And as usual, we have a little bit of divided crew here. And it should be no surprise to you.
Yeah,
where
that
the
divide-
I was gonna say, where do you think
The divide is not going to shock anyone.
No. So The Marvels, the second Captain Marvel movie. This one has Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Photon.
No, she's not Photon.
She has no name.
She has no name until.
Just Captain Rambeau.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
And there's a little bit more Nick Fury, a little bit more the
A little
cat,
bit more Nick
a
Fury.
little bit a new Ronan the Accuser, and multiverses or what? I mean,
What am I doing in this picture?
talking.
I guess so. It looks
Lots
like
of
a
pussy.
growling.
A lot of flirkins. A lot of flirkins.
Oh, Flurkin.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us, Alex. Tell us a little bit more of the plot of this movie.
The plot of The Marvels. The Marvels is an hour and 45 minutes of
Jaunty fun.
jaunty fun where Dar-Ben, a Kree
Soccer mom.
a Kree warlord or something, is going around to different planets and stealing their resources to reinvigorate the planet of Hera. That's it, right?
Okay.
Of Hera, because it is currently dying. So
no.
she's stealing water and from one planet and the atmosphere of another planet and then the sun from our galaxy.
Yeah, which let me ask you something. When she's stealing the sun, are we to assume like their sun was made of wood? She's like stealing fire. Well, and what is
reignite
that?
it?
It's a comic
What
book.
is that?
Comic book silliness.
Comic book hygiene.
So then, because it's villainy, we have to have heroes to stop her, and Captain Marvel
She
and
steps up to the plate.
Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Captain Rambeau all find themselves at a point to
Quantum
go
entangled.
in quantum entanglement, where they all swap positions and then they team up to go fight this because they're forced to. They have to work
Gotcha.
together.
So how did it, so they this the entanglement where they swap places is a little bit like the old school Captain Marvel and Rick Jones type stuff where he hits the nega bands or whatever.
Well,
is that kind of the same thing? Or
kind
is
of.
that-
It is the Negabands.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And I'd like to go ahead and clarify that whoever is working at Marvel needs to find a new name for the Negabands because that seems like a PR nightmare. constantly having to say the nega bands over and over, you really gotta
stay focused.
You really gotta focus on that E vowel.
You gotta land that A.
Yeah, like really gotta hit that E vowel hard, because in other words, it ain't gonna work out for you. I just thought about that.
A little bit of advice.
It just kind of bothered me the whole movie. Every time they said it, I was like, wait, what? Just a thought I had.
Well, so is that? So they are the nega bands.
They are the nega bands.
But instead of in the comic book, he'd switch with Rick Jones, who was in a negative zone.
Right.
They just swap wherever they're at.
Wherever they're at.
So
how did each one of them come across the nega band?
Well, Kamala Khan had one.
Okay, so that was
She
from
inherited
the TV
from
show.
her grandmother.
Okay.
And then whatever Cree soccer mom found another one.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing. She's an accuser.
Right.
And we've seen Ronan the accuser.
Yeah.
But she doesn't wear the shroud. She doesn't. Her skin isn't blue.
You got the hammer.
She's got the hammer alone. She looks literally like she walked in off the street.
And they gave her a
It was
hammer?
like
She got that silver highlights in her hair.
they're like,
she does have silver lining.
I think in her contract she said no makeup, no prosthetics. I'll do this begrudgingly.
Who is she?
Because she's a big
She's
actress?
actually Tom Hiddleston's wife.
So
God, so they can be terrible together.
yeah.
He's a wonderful actor. Golly.
I'm not a big.
Would you like to? So
Am I summarizing?
in all of this, like Alex said, they have to steal water from one planet. They have to steal because the sun's going out, right? So they have to steal fire from another sun,
I think they're just stealing the sun.
right?
They're just taking Earth's sun.
Just taking it with them.
Just take it away.
Hook it up.
They
Tow it in.
Tow it in.
they're stealing atmosphere from another planet, right? Here's the thing: if their sun is going out, why would the water on the Kree homeworld evaporate?
Different planets.
You got to have it one way or the other.
It can be different physics.
There's
and different
laws
parts
of
the-
thermodynamics.
But not we only on our planet.
Different universe.
Different planets, galaxies away.
Maybe it's not water. Maybe it's something you think is water, but it's not.
They literally said they're coming to steal their water.
Well, you know,
Maybe it translates in the water.
maybe their water is
Maybe
different from our water.
Maybe it's
Different chemical
glucose.
compound.
Maybe they don't have fluoride in their water.
Yeah.
So maybe
They have
there's just a
bad
little
teeth.
bit of different.
You never know this stuff.
British teeth.
British teeth.
All right.
Sorry for all our
Darben was
British
British.
listeners.
For all our British listeners, I'm sorry about your teeth.
Yeah, because you're the last group of people that we haven't.
We haven't offended yet, but now.
We're working on it.
Tut tut. Cheerio.
Cheerio, asshole.
So, on the water planet, though, Brad,
Yeah.
the people on the planet speak in song.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Speaking of songs.
Can I say something
Yes.
real quick to
Yes.
counteract this?
Well, I haven't said what I was going to say yet, but he wants to get ahead of what I'm going to say.
Counteract this hatred.
Right.
Is Star Trek did it in Strange New Worlds like 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, they
They had
did a
a
whole
sing-
thing
sing-song
that everybody
episode?
a sing song episode.
Okay.
Did
And everybody
song-
loved
They
it.
loved it.
They loved it.
let me?
Of
Well,
course.
they've done it
was-
several times. They did it in
was-
Buffy.
Buffy, yeah.
It was
Right?
great. It was famous. It was
They've done it. They've done the Batman. They did
Flash.
the Flash. They did the Flash. They did Futurama. They did the
Batman,
Batman, Brave and the Bold episode.
Okay.
So
I'm
it's been
for it.
done.
I'm there. They've done it before. It's a tried and true. It can work.
When you're desperate, it's a tried
It's a
and
tried and
formula
true.
to attract viewers.
It's another episode.
So
Now, here's
why
the-
do you hate it?
Because none of it rhymed.
I think there was some rhyming.
There was no rhyming.
Loose rhyming.
It would be like us just doing this podcast in
Well,
sing
it was just
song.
that it was their language. They didn't.
Yes,
the
I
rules wasn't
understand,
that they
but
had
you
to-
can't say they speak in song and nothing actually rhyme and nothing actually be a song.
Well, yeah.
There's songs that don't rhyme. I can name a bunch of songs that don't rhyme.
All right, hold on. Now, go.
I'll give you
Hold
time
on.
to think of it. Hold on.
Hold on. We're gonna now. PMR is gonna list.
Rhinestone cowboy
Dun, dun.
riding out on his horse and a star-spangled rodeo.
Yeah, cowboy and rodeo.
Yeah, cowboy and rodeo. don't-
Offers coming over the phone.
Yeah, what the fuck?
None of
I don't
those
rhyme.
rhyme.
None of that shit rhymes.
There's a lot of songs that don't rhyme.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
This was the
like
poetry
this is like
planet.
us going.
This ain't a rap planet.
Alex, none of the songs rhymed through that whole piece of shit sequence.
Wow.
Damn.
It wasn't the most entertaining
200
sequence
episodes,
in
and
the
we
world.
had to wait for that glorious bullshit.
Yeah.
Brian breaks the pipes out on episode 199.
That's essentially all they just talked and sing song. That's not singing.
But they did a cute little dance number, and they.
What did you expect?
I expected. Well, that's my point. Is if you're going to say it's a planet that speaks in song, you know, that's write a fucking song. Write a fucking song.
Well, you
you
can't
wrote the
write
dialogue. Just make it right. Just make it right.
Change a few words.
Well, if you're not going to commit, then don't do the bit.
Wow.
And that fucking rhymed.
You know
Sing
what?
that one.
5 out of 5.
Don't do the bit.
If you're not no, he's not. Well, I think Alex is our resident songbird and everything. So
I
if
think
it's
it's
okay with
fine.
Alex, then I'm going to go on Alex.
It looked, you know, and I'll compliment something on the Marvels. I'll say this: the visual effects in the action sequence, pretty good overall. Compared to Quantumania,
I wish we could see Brian's face.
And
right
it
now.
was a pleasant delight to see Marvel with some actual pretty competent visual effects. I didn't see anything glaring issue like I did in the Marvels. I thought, or in Quantumania. Dear listener, let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. There's differing opinions at this table, but I'll tell you straight up, The Marvels is just a fun little comic book movie that's an hour and a half long. It's like Lethal Weapon, but in space. And
Wow, look at that.
it's a buddy cop.
Now he's pandering to PMR. How is it Lethal Weapon in space?
It's a buddy cop.
it's a
It's
buddy
an action comedy.
Yeah,
It's an
I
action
see
comedy.
that.
All right.
Makes me like it even more.
Nick Fury's the police captain.
Let's get on Nick Fury for a second.
No, I have a theory about what
All
happened
right.
there.
So here, let's talk
had a
about
stroke.
Nick Fury, the man who ran Shield while
Into the
it was
ground.
literally into the ground. It crashed into the ground.
Absolutely.
Nick Fury.
You guys doing okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Nick Fury,
Okay.
who thank you,
And that chili.
who let Shield be infiltrated by Hydra
Right.
under his watch. Nick Fury, who was just seen in a secret invasion, who had to fake his own death, by the way.
Hey, how much was your drink there? Was it good?
It was $10. Nick Fury, who was last seen in Secret Invasion, who was wanted for killing Maria Hill, right?
All right.
Is now suddenly the head of another clandestine
I see.
clandestine
So screwed up one
agency.
giant one, and now they put him in charge
Yeah,
of another one.
they don't explain why Nick Fury would be in charge of this. I would not trust Nick Fury to run a hot dog stand. And this man is running a space station, overseeing the opening and closing of intergalactic portals across space.
You know, I've said my theory, and I'll restate it for the podcast. Nick Fury, the night before the Marvels, had a really bad dream where his wife was a Skrull and his best friend, who was also a Skrull, died, and there was this whole secret invasion, and it was a horrible dream. He woke up, he popped an edible, and went about his day, and then suddenly all this crazy shit happened.
I do wish they
Patrick
would
Duffy was in his shower.
That's what happened.
Okay.
Nick Fury had a bad dream that was secret invasion.
Nick Fury,
popped an edible, and then
look, Nick
a
Fury
little goofy.
should be working at Ant-Man's Baskin Robbins at this point, not in charge of another clandestine secret agency.
He seems like he's doing a fine job.
Well, yeah. So then, Brad,
Yes.
we bring back in the Flurkin, that stupid goddamn cat
Yeah.
that clawed out Nick Fury's eyes.
So cute.
Right?
It's adorable.
So they bring the cat
little cat.
they bring the cat onto the spaceship, and then they commence to just ripping off Trouble with Tribbles from Star Trek.
What's that ripping off?
You know what? Good art imitates great art steals.
So-
Wow. Picasso said that.
So, the cat is on the space station, and then suddenly they start finding these furry eggs all over the space station.
Oh, wow.
They don't explain why
No.
the furry eggs are there.
They
just that.
disappear.
That Flurkin's a
The
whore.
thing that would have
Goose a whore.
the thing would have totally redeemed me is if Nick Fury had said, "Hey, I'm getting really fucking tired of all these Flurkins on my space station," or if he'd said, "Who fucked that cat? I want to know who fucked that cat." Because there's no explanation as to how the cat got pregnant. None.
It's kind of like
Asexual-
It's also an alien.
Asexual reproduction.
it's like snakes
Like
on a plane.
seahorses.
It was
Get
How do
those
those
mother
snakes get on
working
the-
on the space
Get those
station.
motherfuckers.
The snakes on the plane was explained. They were trying to kill.
Yeah, dummy.
They were,
Dummy, don't get distracted, Brian.
they were trying to kill a witness, a government witness, who was on a plane, and so they snuck snakes on the plane to kill that witness.
Right, a bunch of snakes.
A bunch of snakes.
Maybe they were doing the same thing with the Flurkin.
Yeah.
Who were they trying to kill? We don't know.
If they'd explain it, fine.
All right, so
But it was funny because they played memory when all the eggs hatched. They
Yeah.
played memory from cats.
I didn't catch that,
oh well, how about that?
but at least I found out now that it's because.
And it's a little funny.
Is it?
I thought it was pretty funny. I
All right,
laughed.
so let's go to the big reveal here,
I did like it.
which is Monica Rambeau somehow or another is on the wrong side of a closing portal
Right.
or something.
So basically, the bad guy,
Darben.
soccer mom, gets the negabands.
The what?
The
Pronounce that
negabands.
E.
What's that?
The negabands.
Yeah.
And clangs them together, and then proceeds to explode because she can't take in all the energy. So she pops like a tick.
Who?
The bad guy.
Oh, the bad guy. Oh.
The bad guy.
Okay.
So they don't beat her. She dies
by
based on her own
hubris.
hubris. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, that's the way it always is.
flew too
Great
close to the
villains
sun.
die by their own hubris
That's what they do.
or fall off a cliff.
She fell on her petard. You gotta land that pee. Hoisted on her own petard. So that's a Veep joke.
I think I blew
Did you ever
my
see
whipped
that?
cream out.
Anyway.
I'm sure I did. Yeah.
Anyway,
Did you drink it?
No, I think I blew it out of my coffee.
are we going to look for it? Or you just scoop it up?
I don't know.
All right. So when she blows up, it rips a hole in time and space.
Oh.
And so Monica decides, for I don't know any reason why she would need to be one. She controls light, but she decides she's the
Somehow
one.
she can fix it.
She's the one that can repair the rift. There's no explanation as to why it would be her, not
Or
you
why
know,
she thinks she can
Carol.
do it. Or, right.
Yeah,
There's science fiction.
but she decides to repair the hole from the other side again. Why? There's no explanation why she needed to
She
repair
had
it
to
from the.
force it from. She couldn't pull it. She had to push it. She had to push it close.
Who said that?
She
I
did.
think they did.
No, they didn't. She
think
said
they
no.
said
She
that.
said I have to repair. I can fix it.
Because
I can
I've
fix
gotta
it,
push it from
but
the
I
other
have to
side.
do it from the other side. That was it. And then she just flies off, and they're like, Monica, no.
Well, did you want to send her to spend 10
Why
minutes
did-
explaining some scientific reason why she had to do it from
Yeah,
inside?
Brian really
or just
wants
take
to-
her word?
I would just like
Just
for
take her word for it.
why? Why? Give me
Just take
some
her
reason.
word.
Give me
Just-
some reasoning.
Just believe her.
No, I don't want to
have
just
to.
believe
Why
her.
couldn't
Like-
Iron Man have let go of the missile in the first Avengers?
Why did Captain
He had to
America
take it through.
Why,
Yeah.
He had to
did-
make sure it made it through the portal.
Why did Steve Rogers couldn't put the plane on autopilot and let?
Yeah,
That's true.
I
Well,
mean,
because Steve Rogers wasn't a pilot, he probably didn't know there was such a thing as
you
autopilot.
just saying he's dumb.
Yeah, probably. He wasn't a pilot.
but no one even tried to.
He wasn't a
Peggy
pilot.
didn't even try to direct him.
Right.
Yeah.
Steve.
Hey, Steve, hit that big button right
Yeah,
there.
the
on
one that
right.
says autopilot.
Hey, how would you be smart if you didn't name it Steve Rogers?
That's right. That's right.
We're just wondering why he didn't hit the autopilot instead of just crashing it into the.
He wasn't a pilot. He didn't know such a thing existed.
And Peggy didn't care.
In the actual comic books, wasn't a thing.
There you
In the
go.
Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe, was like, yeah, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, exactly.
There you
See,
go.
there you go.
There you go. Our live
You
studio.
didn't have a parachute underneath that shield.
Yeah. Not one parachute on board that whole plane.
He's been jumping out of planes since.
Without
Motherfucker keeps
parachutes.
flying,
In
jumping
his
out of
next
planes all the
move,
time.
in the two next movies, he jumps out of planes.
They make a point of him jumping out without a chute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
There's
that's-
actually a
and
comic
living.
made.
That's because he learned his lesson from that first time. It's like, next time the plane's
Fuck
going
that,
down,
I'm just
I'm jumping
going.
out. I'm down.
Shoot or not.
So,
So she feels the need, inexplicably, to close the rip from the other side, just so she can end up on the X-Men side of the in the X-Men dimension.
Spoiler.
Spoilers!
The movie's been out for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and no one saw
one's
it.
seen it.
and no one's
But no one saw it.
and nobody's gonna see it.
I saw the post-credit scene online.
I did too.
But then I did go and see the movie because of it.
I didn't know.
Okay,
So.
well, the explanation of all that is no one wants to hear her explain the scientific reason why she had to do
You
it.
go to the movie to have fun.
Yeah, I don't want to hear her.
Why would somebody that can control light can close an interdimensional rip in
Because
space?
comic books.
Because.
If anybody,
All right, so let's just say she does, right? Okay. So what happens? She's on the other side. She closes it up, and then she blacks out.
passes out, crashes.
She's tired.
Crashes on Earth.
She worn out. That shit.
She
wears
wakes
you
up in a
out.
medical bed, and her mom is there.
That's good.
In the binary costume.
The binary costume that comic fans barely know.
But yeah,
I would argue.
yeah. And
Where's that guy?
she's
That's
under
my
the
favorite.
care of one
Where's that guy at?
Hank McCoy.
Oh my God,
The
Kelsey
Beast.
Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer
Fraser
reprising his
himself.
role. Which
Good
now,
friend. Friend of the
Alex's
podcast.
personal friend. Yeah.
now, Alex, you had a conversation with Kelsey Grammer about.
And he said he wanted to come back. I think he always
As the
was.
voice of the beast.
He loved playing the Beast.
He
right?
did. He loved being in the makeup. He loved doing all of it. He said he had a blast. That's like the one role he always wanted to go back to. He wanted to do it again.
Wow.
Of his
How
whole
about that?
career, he was like, I want to play the Beast again.
Yeah,
That's what
not
he said.
Frasier.
Not Frasier.
Wow. Look at that.
But now he's got both.
He's got
He's got
both.
Best of both worlds. Everyone wants a piece of Kelsey Grammer.
So now we're talking about Kelsey. Was he just a CGI beast?
It was just
Was
CGI
it
beast.
just-
And he looked pretty good.
But it was
They look pretty comic accurate, sort of.
he was comic accurate,
Yeah.
but it was a little uncanny valley to it.
Oh, okay.
It looked more like that they hadn't brought Kelsey in for the mocap, and they had someone else doing the mocap, so they weren't super secure.
They couldn't get Kelsey Grammer.
They weren't super
kinda like my
secure in
old-
the face animation.
It was kind of like our old Crash video. From
Oh, okay.
back in
His
the
head
day.
was there.
Yeah.
He did look like he was like 9 feet tall though.
Yeah, he was tall. He was a big
Which
boy.
Beast is not that tall.
Well, he is when they brought him
Yeah.
back
In the modern
Yeah,
Beast?
the modern Beast is more taller than he was in the Perez era.
The bouncing bubbly
It was
beast.
cool.
Was he that?
It looked cool.
Was he the bouncy?
No.
It looked cool. I mean, and he name checks, Professor X, and the thing is, like, now if Deadpool does destroy the X-Men universe, then now they
Captain
got their
Marvel or
Captain
whatever
Marvel
goes out with
will rip a new hole in space and
Yeah. But they
shove
can
them
close it,
through,
she
and
can
this time
open
she'll have to close it from that side.
Well, and if you notice,
and she's back.
if you notice,
you
the
go.
binary
It writes itself.
is wearing the Nega bands.
yeah?
She's wearing both
got
of them.
them too?
The binary in that universe is
But I
wearing
thought it
both
was pretty
Nega
clever
bands.
about the binary. The reason she's binary because they did a throwaway line in this movie.
Yeah.
Bisexual.
No. What? Jesus Christ. No.
Sides of the envelope.
In the first movie, Captain Marvel, it could have been Monica's mom, Maria, that got the powers of Captain Marvel.
You mean the same bit they did in Multiverse of Madness where Maria was also Captain Marvel?
But she didn't get the powers.
Right.
They've done the same bit.
Carol Danvers got the powers.
Why?
But in this universe,
She got.
she got the powers, and that's why she's binary.
They've done that bit before. They did that bit a
Does
year
that make
ago.
sense? Of why she's why they call
Yeah,
her
because no, it was
because she could because the powers could have
she
gone.
just
to
named
somebody.
herself different.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
She just named
They
herself.
did the
I
same.
like Alex's explanation better.
They did the same bit a year ago in Multiverse of Madness, where Maria also was Captain Marvel.
What's Multiverse of Madness?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
That was the actress.
she was.
that-
It was the same thing.
So now she's
She's done it twice. They just keep bringing her back. They
love
killed
her.
that one. Now
Was she
they're-
binary in that?
No, she was
Captain Marvel in that.
She had the kind of traditional or the whatever, the black and green,
It was black and silver.
black and silver.
Forgot that movie happened.
Yeah.
I tried to.
All right. So speaking of forgetting about movies happening, it feels like we kind of fell off the portal for this one. How does it all end? Was that the ending, or what happens
Well,
with Carol
The
Danvers?
ending is
Well, here's
Carol.
here's the skewed version.
so. Part of the reason why the Kree hate Carol Danvers is because
Only part.
she ruined their planet when she killed the Supreme Intelligence, right?
Okay.
Now, Monica Rambeau says, well, Carol, have you ever thought about trying to reignite their sun? And Carol's like, I haven't.
I don't have light powers, but
I don't have light powers.
like you do.
Like you do, but
But I'll give it a shot.
all bets are off. So,
If you can close portals, I guess I can reignite the sun.
reignite the sun.
Seems like it would be the opposite.
Yeah, it would be the opposite. And then so Carol, like with no effort whatsoever, reignites the sun. Reignites the sun. So, like in the most throwaway of throwaway, just quick. Here's a 30-second scene of her reigniting the sun, and you're like, oh, did it kill her? No, she's just like fine. 30 seconds later, There was no exertion made whatsoever for to reunite that son.
She exerted a little bit.
Now, they did do some flashback stuff, and they did flashback stuff to when Monica was dusted, right? And blipped out, where Carol and I guess, what's Monica's mom's name? Maria rekindled their relationship.
Their friendship.
I want to go on
pretty
record
obvious.
to say you cannot.
It's pretty obvious.
You cannot in 2023 have two women be friends without everybody assuming they're supposed to be lesbians. Let me just say that.
You just can't do it.
Two
Can't do it.
Wait a
women
minute, so-
Air Force pilots
Hey,
who
there's some
lived
Air Force
together and
pilots
raised a
listed.
child.
They didn't raise the child together.
But she's Aunt Carol.
She's Aunt Carol.
Yeah, that doesn't scream of.
A lesbian relationship.
Now,
So,
well, there's one other thing, Brad.
Yeah.
Like how we wrap this up.
oh, please.
Well, then we'll get to the rebuttal with PMR.
PMR's got a joke he's leaked about
I know.
5 times, and he's about to bust.
I know. So,
Busted.
at the beginning of the movie, you've got Kamala Khan's her family,
Right, they're hilarious.
So it's
I'm sure.
her mother, her father, her
Yeah.
brother.
Which doesn't play well these days.
Surprisingly, her brother has a wife, and so Nick whisks them up to his space station to save everyone and keep them protected. Not her sister-in-law.
In the movie.
She might have got divorced.
She's a side
No, they
character.
actually mention her. That, but yeah, she's not. You can tell they didn't want to pay for her, and so the explanation they're bringing her to space the family to space to protect them. It's like, well, not her. She's on her own. But so the whole movie, they're in the space station, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
The end of the movie, Carol decides to come back to Earth and live in Maria's house, right?
Okay.
And all of
Just
Kamala's
said that
family.
Maria's Photon? Or
Maria's
the
the mom of Photon.
Okay.
So she comes back to Earth, Maria, and moves into Maria's house, right, in Louisiana. And Kamala's family drove from New Jersey.
No, they didn't drive.
They flew.
They flew in her spaceship. Why would they drive?
Yeah, why would they drive?
To help her move in,
They flew in the Blue Beetle spaceship?
I guess.
The family did?
I guess.
Okay.
They
Makes
flew
sense.
from Louisiana, from New Jersey to Louisiana to help Carol move in. Now, Carol lived in a 30 by 30 cockpit. So I don't know
she
why.
didn't have a whole lot
She
of
didn't
stuff.
have much stuff to move anyway. And guess who still wasn't there? The wife.
Well, you know.
She couldn't make the trip there either.
She's busy. Someone's got to work in that.
Very
family.
odd. Very odd.
And why would they go and help her move in?
Why would they
I
help her
mean,
move in? She's
Well,
super
maybe
strong.
They just wanted to go to Louisiana. They're going down to Bourbon Street.
No,
So,
nobody
Where
wants to
did
go to
Miss
Louisiana.
Marvel
Nobody wants to go to Louisiana.
I'd love to.
Especially,
Oberlin?
Especially a Pakistani.
especially a Pakistani family. I don't think they want to go hang out in Louisiana.
Those Cajuns, the crazy Cajuns.
Yeah.
So what happened to Miss Marvel?
She's now recruiting.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's really how the movie ends.
That is how the movie ends.
Recruiting Kate Bishop.
So yeah, they did Kamala Khan was sitting in Kate Bishop's apartment
Like Nick
in the
Fury.
dark, like Nick Fury, and they kind of played that old joke from Iron Man 1.
Just fun.
Which was fun. Which I think would have been. I think if everybody wouldn't be so down on comic book movies, especially Marvel movies,
just
I
have
think
fun.
everybody would just enjoy that scene. But I think everybody.
I enjoyed the scene.
wanted-
Lighten up.
Lighten the
Just
fuck
lighten
up,
up,
man.
lighten the fuck
It's
up,
a-
people.
The movie's.
So let me ask you this, Brian. What did you enjoy about the movie? What was enjoyment of the movie?
I liked that final scene.
Okay.
The action was pretty good. The fight scenes overall
Were the visual effects and fights as glorious as Alex seems to think they were?
glorious. They were fine.
They were a step up from
Quantumania.
Quantumania
Oh, really?
and
They were.
Wakanda.
They were.
Wakanda forever.
That whole fight between Black Panther and Namor.
that was
on
Black
that.
Panther. That was.
Well, you know what I mean. But
Black
she's the
Panther.
Black Panther.
No.
So
Not my Black Panther.
Hashtag not my Black
Hashtag.
Panther. Yeah. So
He's dead.
it's just so there's so many like missteps. There's like so many. I hate it when it's like I hate a movie more if it's like all you needed was a couple of tweaks and it'd have been, look. Give some reason why Nick Fury is the head of this agency and not a complete buffoon. But he acts like a complete buffoon the entire time.
He was a complete.
give some explanation as to, some motivation for the bad guy, right? Actually make the bad guy look somewhat intimidating on any level.
I thought actually the explanation was perfectly clear. Carol Danvers destroyed her planet. She's leading the planet, so she has to find the resources to reinvigorate her planet. That's super reasonable.
Yeah.
I guess
I can get behind that.
I guess a better give her more material to work with.
I mean, it's more material than James Gunn gave Ronan. I cannot tell you what Ronan wanted in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I really couldn't either.
But I can tell you what Darth Vader wanted.
What did Ronan want, by the way?
I have no clue.
Accusing people.
He wanted that stone.
I want that guy to
He wanted it, but not even for himself, for Thanos. It was just Thanos' lackey.
He was Thanos' lackey.
Boring.
Okay. So,
At least this villain had a want.
My thought is, if you make a stronger villain, give her actually some material to work with, right? 1. 2, explain some of the logic leaps. It make a 1 sentence here, 2 sentences there, you're fine, and it makes some reasonable explanation as to why some of these events are happening and why some of the decisions they're making are happening. And I swear to God, if you're like, it's not a big gripe, but it is just telling of the whole movie. Why the hell would you make a whole 20-plus minute sequence around a planet that speaks in song, communicates through song, and not have any of the fucking dialogue rhyme or sound like any? It doesn't sound like a song.
it did sound like
Yeah. Which floor are you getting off at?
At the end of the day,
This looks like your floor.
listener, if you like
Pardon me and have a great day.
If you like
it's
Marvel movies, if you like women, if you like Marvel movies, if you like women, this is a 3 out of 5.
But if you don't like women,
If you don't like women, probably a 2.
all right. Here's the deal. The stuff that worked with the movie. Kamala Khan, she was great. She was funny.
She got old.
I think the whole cast worked.
It got old.
She was enjoyable.
The whole
It was
cast
fun.
worked.
The whole cast. I like Brie Larson. Sorry, I like Brie Larson.
Sorry, don't apologize.
I like the other chick that was in it. I thought she was good too.
Want to know her name? But she's
Yeah,
good.
but that's
She good.
She good. She good. That was good. The Avengers thing at the end, that was good also.
Okay.
The fight scenes were acceptable.
Wow.
The story lacked. The villain lacked a lot. I agree with that.
Okay.
I think they could have. It seems like they cut out a lot. I think they could have really focused a lot on Carol Danvers and what she did to the Kree world and how Kamala Khan worship. Yeah, thank you. How I think we're good. We're good. Thank you. How Kamala Khan was worship Carol Danvers, but now Carol Danvers was really kind of a bad guy. I mean, she really kind of destroyed that home world out of revenge, and they just touched on it a little bit, and that was it. And so they could have really done more with that. But other than that, at the end of the movie, I enjoyed it. I had fun.
All right.
I didn't really have to think a lot.
He's taking the Alex approach here.
I don't like to think a lot of the movie.
I'm
like
with you on
to
that. I don't like to think
I don't
either.
like to put too much. I need to know why Monica Rambeau didn't close that thing from the outside. There's too much thought. I don't need to wonder why they're not singing and rhyming. Too much thought.
Sometimes we just go into a movie to enjoy something. A little bit of spectacle.
I go to a movie to enjoy something, but when I know that they're phoning it in and doing a half-assed job, I can't enjoy it.
But are you going in looking for it? There's the difference.
You go in looking for
There's
trouble.
the difference.
Looking for trouble.
All right, let me.
I remember when I went and saw Snake Eyes in theaters, and I knew that thing was a giant turd. But what I decided was that I was going to go in and have a good time no matter what. And I had an even better time. Because
So
what's your attitude?
here's the thing.
don't
Here's the thing. Do I think having that planet, where people communicate in song, was probably a good idea? Yeah, that's actually kind of a cool idea.
Been done before a million times.
Done 4 million times, but it's kind of a cool idea, and it could be a very fun sequence. I agree with that.
If it was done in French.
If it was done correctly, if they actually committed to the, bit, if they had committed to the bit, there you go. That it's a game changer for that portion of the movie.
I mean, that's another thing I want to wonder about. if we're going to question that, why does everybody speak English?
True.
I mean, in Star Trek, everybody's got the
Universal
translator sewn into their suit, but in the Marvel universe or DC universe, everybody just speaks.
Yeah. Well, in Guardians of the Galaxy, they have the translator buttons on there.
Oh, they do.
Right, they do. Yeah.
But everybody else,
screw them. Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my thought.
Good thought. I like that. All right, so I was going to ask you for final score, but no.
If they had just done something to explain why that cat got pregnant.
Right, that would have been it.
That would have been a positive score from you.
They should have had that guy,
like,
that big guy that
that
you
big
don't
guy.
really know. Just like
What I wanted, that's what I
I
wanted is like you see Nick go, I want to know who fucked this cat, and then pan to like a screen of all the space station employees, and somebody just back out of the room.
Everybody takes a step back except for the one guy.
the Homer, he's doing the Homer into the shred, into the shrub. You just see one guy like back out of the panel, back out of into the hallway.
That would have been great.
That would have been great. Perfect. Who fucked this cat?
Cut to the credits. Directed by one of them.
Give me some reason why Nick Fury would even be like here.
Ryan would have had Nick Fury on.
You just hate Nick Fury.
Like
You're bringing him to HR, aren't you?
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a complete moron, and has been a moron ever since that first Captain Marvel movie.
Well, you know.
Wow.
So
These women fucking ruined Nick Fury.
Yep.
it's not the women that ruined it. Going back to my original critique about the first Captain Marvel movie.
What?
You can.
I love that Captain Marvel.
No, you did not. And we just listened to the recording to prove that.
I remember walking out of the theater with you after that movie, and you did not like it at all.
Here's the thing. You can make a female superhero be strong, confident, and competent.
And still make me a goddamn sandwich.
You
at
are
the end of the day.
no. Here's the thing. If you are the writer of this film and you want to make this character strong, competent, confident, right? You control all of that. You're writing the fucking movie.
Okay,
Or you can say she's the least bad the least bad option in a myriad of bad options. That's what they chose for the Captain Marvel movie, the first one. She was the most competent.
I lost you at myriad.
She was the most competent by default because Nick Fury was a fucking moron. Coulson was Nick Fury minus 30 IQ points. They were all fucking what's his face?
Talos? Ben Mendelsohn?
Not Ben Mendelsohn.
Jude Law?
Jude Law was just a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah, what's
right?
his name? I don't remember.
So
Rin Grin.
you could go in and say, look, this is our first female superhero-led movie. Make her a badass. Make her super competent, right? Make her, like in a world of competent people, she's the most competent. In a world of brave people, she's the bravest. No, they didn't. They went and said, look, she's all right, but she's better than these other morons.
Look at how bad these are.
By comparison, she's great. That's what they chose to do with that first movie, which is like an insult. But the thing is, the writers made that choice. They could say, look, we could write all these characters like they're great and she's the greatest of the great, or we can make everybody else look like a moron, so by default she's the best of a bunch of bad options. And that's what they chose. And that's my biggest problem with that first Captain Marvel movie. Not Brie Larson, not anything else.
Let me back up a little bit. The first let's make it clear that the first Captain Marvel movie occurred in 1990. So the Nick Fury was a young 30-year young. Don't say that. Nick Fury was a young person back then, so he was dumb. He was new. He was. I mean, maybe not new, but he was not the seasoned veteran that he was.
You don't think he was a laughingstock when people realized that he lost his eye because? Now we didn't know that's how he lost his eye. That it was clawed out by a cat. But everybody at fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. knew. How do you get promoted to the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They didn't know.
When you know?
He kept it a secret.
So, like if you were the guy...
Coulson comes in the room and he's like, it's awesome. You lost your eye to aliens or something. He's like, yeah.
If you were the guy...
You didn't lose to a cat. You lost to an alien.
alien cast. Like
You didn't tell him the
robotic
details.
Let me just put this out there. If you're the guy at the corporate retreat that shits the bed,
Everybody's going to know.
everybody's going to know. And guess what? You're never going to be CEO.
But he didn't shit the bed.
No matter how qualified you are, you're never going to be CEO of that corporation.
He helped save the world.
He helped save the world. He met the superpower alien.
You're always going to be that guy that shit the bed.
He didn't shit the bed.
That's where the Avengers Initiative comes from. It's Carol
Yeah,
Danvers.
he started that whole thing. It was all his idea. It's all you, Nick Fury. All you.
All right, PMR, what do you give this movie?
6 out of 5. No, I'm just kidding. I give it a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Brian?
That's incredibly reasonable.
Okay, wow.
Movie.
Brian, yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So what do you, and Brian, your review not too far off.
I'll give it a 2.
Generous too.
Generous
And
too.
Alex?
I'm giving it 3 out of 5 too.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. It's a fine
Oh my
movie.
God! You three have argued over
I
this.
cannot believe, like,
Another
after
3
all of this, and you guys gave it a 3. Y'all defended this film so vigorously.
It was at least a 4.5.
Yours felt more like just complain about it for the sake of
I enjoyed it.
Had a good job.
Let's stop it right there.
Just had a good
He's gonna
job.
talk himself into 5.
You know what?
I think it's
Not as good as Shang-Chi.
actually I did enjoy it more than Shang-Chi. Maybe I should get it.
Shang-Chi got a 5, I think. From.
No, he got 4.
All right, we'll have to go to
You enjoyed the Marvels more than Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
You're crazy. That's a
I
horrible
like that little
opinion.
Kamala Khan.
The fact that either of you can use the word enjoy with either of those films is crazy.
It's insane.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. It was a fun little romp.
Okay. A fun little jaunty romp.
I have fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll watch it
Go
when
to
it
the
comes
movies.
on.
I have fun.
Okay.
It wasn't depressing. It didn't make me sad.
It made me think. I just sat there and stared at the screen for an hour and a half. That's all I wanted to do. Fell asleep a couple of times.
Yeah, you know, I was fine. I didn't have to think about it too much. I didn't want to think.
I went by myself in like an empty theater on like a Monday morning.
That sounds
Well, let's talk
appropriate.
about that real quick, right? So it made $46.5 million the opening
Yeah, the
weekend,
lowest
like
opening already.
almost half what its original projections were supposed to be.
Okay, but let's talk about
Hold on. And in the second week, it had the highest drop of any Marvel film ever. It only made $10 million. So this movie is very likely not going to break $100 million
It'll break.
domestically.
Yeah, it'll break.
But it is the highest opening for a black female director.
Oh, was the director a black female?
Yeah, via the costume.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you say it like we should know.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck that is.
She directed the Candyman reboot like 2 years ago.
So
Never saw it.
Hope that did better. Anyway.
Yeah, very good.
Anyway,
I think that, well, for one thing, the actor strike, so they couldn't promote this movie. 2, there is the whole superhero fatigue thing that people have been talking about.
3, they changed the brand recognition, so it's a brand new title
Yeah,
that
you
no
don't
one can
know.
associate with.
I mean,
You've
I almost
got-
didn't go see it because it didn't say Captain Marvel 2. I didn't know.
he didn't know what it was.
I
What's
didn't
the
know.
Marvel?
What's the
I'm
Marvel?
confused.
I may not
DC
go see
movie?
it. Yeah, what is this?
You've got Box Office Poison in the lead.
And not to mention one of your 3 heroes is a Palestinian.
Well, and
middle of a global
former
crisis.
I follow several comic creators. Chuck Dixon, former writer of Batman and Robin and that sort of thing, he posted the other day, he's like, seems like making a movie about a lowly rated streaming TV show character wasn't the best choice to make.
Haters.
Oh, a bunch of
Haters.
She's a great character, but
She was a good character, and she was the best part of the movie, actually. And Brie Larson, I like Brie Larson.
actually, yeah, Brie Larson was my
Oh
favorite
my
part of
God.
the movie.
Okay, anyway, so they're your scores. Let's just end it because they
That's our
will
scores.
talk themselves
That's our
out.
scores.
All right, so what do we got coming up next? Other than
Echo.
episode 200.
Godzilla -1.
Oh, Godzilla -1. I won't go see that.
What's -1 mean?
It's
We'll
like
find out.
1 less than 0.
I mean, is it like Godzilla -1 what?
You'll have to go to find out. Well, here comes some kids. All right, they ruin everything. Kids in a comic book store.
So y'all been watching the Monarch show?
Yep, it's good.
Monarch.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Not a lot's happened so far.
Yeah, nothing. There have been maybe 30
episodes and
seconds
nothing
of any
happened?
creature show up. So, this.
I will say I've been watching watched one episode of For All Mankind. Thanks, Brian. Turned me on to that show. Still a good show. Fourth season started. Great show. I'm behind.
Now they're up
still,
to like
yeah.
2003,
Yep.
where we started originally with the moon landing, right? So
Right before the moon landing.
yeah, right before the moon landing. Yeah.
But that show.
No, it started with the moon
Oh,
landing.
you're right.
Yeah, it started with the moon landing.
Yeah.
Everybody was huddled around their televisions.
Yeah. Well, that's where it all went skewed.
Yeah, that's where it all skewed.
Great show. Great show. Cannot talk strong about that show.
The next, I guess, hero comic book movie is we got Aquaman coming out.
Coming out in a few weeks.
Speaking of box office poison,
Oh, man.
we've had 2 different trailers, and only Mira has been seen for like 0.5 seconds of either.
Yeah.
That's more than she was seeing in the first
The
movie.
new trailer, it's all about Arthur and his
baby.
son and the baby, but still.
Oh, he had a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to squeeze in a lot of story into this last movie. So, yeah, I figured this is our only shot.
Are we to believe the baby was hatched? Because like Mira is nowhere
Just
to be
like
seen
a
in any of
Furban
this.
or whatever?
Like a Flurkin, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think, because I just watched Blue Beetle since I've been
Mm-hmm.
taking a few days off, do you think Blue Beetle's going to be in the new James Gunn movie?
Not a chance.
Yeah, no, they said he is.
Yeah, they say a lot of things, though. Don't
They said that he'll continue.
I would say not a chance. No matter what they say, I'd say not a chance.
I actually think I would like him in that.
Blue Beetle.
In the James
Alex
Gunn
is back
universe.
now.
I think we're getting
In the James Gunn universe.
I think we'll get a Blue Beetle 2. And they'll bring in Booster and
Talk about low box office. Woof.
still
Is that bad? Did it get low?
Oh yeah.
bring in Blue Beetle 2, Blue and Gold.
It crossed 100 million domestically. But that's
That's more than the Marvels
It
will.
limped across.
It did limp.
So
Which is a shame, because it was an okay movie. Or a Nickelodeon.
A totally okay movie. That's what they were going for. Is
It
that
was-
what we accept nowadays?
of
Totally okay.
apparently, yeah. According to the Marvels,
Yeah.
it was the okayest.
The okayest movie of the year.
Yeah.
So what good movies have anybody seen lately?
I saw Next Goal Wins, the new Taika Waititi movie. It was pretty interesting. They, I don't know if I assume they'll do it again, but AMC did this whole $5 mystery movie Monday. And so you paid $5. They didn't reveal what the movie was going to be until right before showtime.
I would have laughed if it was the Marvels.
My wife was
That
like,
would've been
"It's
great.
going to be the Marvels." She was so determined it was going to be the Marvels, and she had no interest in seeing it.
I would have laughed. That would have been great.
But yeah, all they told you was it's a PG-13 movie that was not released yet, and it would be they would tell you at showtime, and it was Taika Waititi's Next Goal Win.
How about that?
It's not his strongest film.
Oh, what would that be? Yeah, exactly.
Probably Jojo Rabbit.
Definitely. He won an Oscar for
Yeah,
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
It's being marked drops all over the Oscar.
Probably. I saw The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti.
I want to see that one.
Great movie. I think it actually has a chance now of a lot of Oscar nominations. It's really good. If Paul Giamatti doesn't at least get nominated for Best Actor, it's a huge insult because it's like I told a lot of people. It's like it sounds weird, but it's like Dead Poet Society and Good Will Hunting are cousins, and they had a kid, and The Holdovers is their fucked up child.
That kid's
Yeah,
a
a little bit off.
little bit on the spectrum.
But it's like just a little kooky. Just a little kooky. But it
Not
makes
full
it
retard.
But it makes it better for that.
You never go.
You never go for a retard.
Other people have entered the restaurant area here, so we got to quiet down quite a bit. Well, as I said in the car ride over here, I rewatched Whiplash, the story of a drummer. But it had some Marvel alumni, including J.K. Simmons, right? J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons, that's it.
Miles
Teller and Brie Larson are all
she
in
in
it.
that?
Yeah, she was for about 5 minutes screen time.
Really?
So there you go. There's your connection with the Marvel movies on that one. And now my wife won't stop playing the jazz music throughout the house. She loves it so much. It's horrible. It's horrible. PMR?
More rewatching Cheers.
Rewatching Cheers, all right.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
I started Shameless.
He's good.
Shameless is pretty good. It's to Alex's analogy, it's like Malcolm in the Middle meets Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
And then they're cousins,
and they're cousins,
and they had a baby.
and they had a baby.
Cheers is like Gilligan's Island meets Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, all right. They had a baby.
And they have a baby.
Are they cousins?
No,
No.
no, it's not Alabama.
All right. Well, I think we're winding down here as we've got as the audience has grown and we've gotten a little
We're
bit.
gonna have to.
Yeah,
we were gonna talk about our new bit, our new segment. But I don't know if we can now.
Martin's been teasing.
Yeah, these are teasing the
Can
whole
you save that for episode 200?
We're gonna save it for 200. It's gonna be a new bit.
A new bit for the end of the pod. A new bit for the end of the pod, man.
I think
new
that's
bit.
fair.
That may
Can you save it?
Now, if you listen closely, you
he's
might
been-
have heard.
He's been edging us all night.
I know he's been edging us.
He's been teasing us.
I am teasing.
He's a little teaser.
Yeah, so if you listen closely to the podcast, you might have heard or gotten a clue as to what the new segment might be.
He is busting. I mean, he is ready to just spew it all out. All over us.
Although I feel like it's more of a visual thing.
Is it?
Well, we can post it on the Instagram.
Give us a hot drink.
All right. Well, that's all well. So, episode 200, you'll have to wait for that. But
Are we
until
gonna hit that before the new year?
I don't think so.
Are we gonna hit it?
It's like the same.
Are we gonna hit
We're
that?
gonna hit it
We're
hard.
gonna hit that hard. Man.
Yeah,
Hard
it's
and
coming.
fast.
We're
It's
gonna hit that
coming.
before. It's just like what is today?
It's a
November
tight
something?
We
window.
have 4 weeks. to
What
do
is
one more
today?
episode.
November something.
It's tight. It's a tight window.
It's tight.
You really got to get it in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, until we get it in there. Until next time, Alex.
Save it for
Until next time, I forgot how to close it out.
Save it for the podcast.
There we go.